probably saying to yourself, who is this girl and why does she have a TV show? My name is Krost, and over the past 7 years, I have talked about so many topics on my radio show, and people are always asking for more information. I've been lucky enough to interview experts of all backgrounds and share inspiring stories of incredible people around the world. I wanted to create a platform from my generation for my generation. And finally, it's time to hear the perspective of people living in it instead of prior generations trying to understand it. You now have a platform to relate to, and parents will have a platform to learn from. I want to put a fresh take on talk and empower my generation to have their opinions heard. I want you to be a part of each and every episode, so pull up your Twitter feed and let's start talking online, as well as here on the Chelsea Krost Show.
You know all the questions you ask the internet because you're too scared to say them out loud? Well, it's time to stop being afraid and start talking. Relationships, college, jobs, celebrities, social issues, and sex. Then we'll get into the taboo stuff.
The Chelsea Krost Show, a fresh take on talk.
What's happened to romance, dating, and the orgasm? 7 out of 10 women and nearly 1/3 of men have faked an orgasm, according to new research. My first guest is sexologist Dr. Jill McDevitt. Thank you for being here today.
Pleasure.
When I heard the statistics, 70% of women fake orgasm, my jaw dropped. I said, this is too high of a number. Why is this happening? Why?
Yeah, I know, that's my question. I go, when I give my my female orgasm presentation, which I do for colleges, that's my question. I'm like, let's break this down. Orgasm, good. Faking, why are you trying to not have a good thing? There's a lot of reasons why, but the reasons that I talk about in the program are threefold. First, so much misinformation about how female genitals work. We're not taught about it in schools. There's a lot of misinformation, so people are not exactly sure about the intricacies of female genitals. There's also misinformation about how orgasm works. And then the third one is about how women feel about their genitals. And if you think that they're gross or you're very uncomfortable with them, that translates into an inability or less of ability to orgasm, which leads them to feel the need to fake it.
So what can women do to empower themselves and feel more comfortable of reaching the point of climax?
Well, on all three of those fronts, you can work within those. So, for example, in the last piece about the body image, or body image as it relates to genitals, is we have to stop looking at vulvas and vaginas as disgusting. I mean, just today I literally had someone be like, ew, in response to the word vagina. And that's just not, if you think something is gross, then how can you want to celebrate it and have it be a wonderful, pleasurable part of an experience that you have? As far as the misinformation, well, that's why you need sex educators. That's why I am on this crusade to be teaching women what's going on with their bodies and how to make them function. They also need to be masturbating. Women, everybody needs to be masturbating, because how can you expect someone else to know what's going on with your body
if you don't know your own body?
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people are scared to explore masturbation because it's such a taboo topic. And the reality is that we're in year 2013 and sex and orgasms and masturbation are still so taboo. People were even saying to me, your first show, you're talking about orgasms? And I said, everybody deserves to have one, but why is it still taboo in 2013? I don't understand.
Well, sex in general is very, very taboo still. I mean, absolutely. I'm sure there's certain things I couldn't even explain as in depth as I do in front of a college classroom because we're on television, and there's just all these rules and policies, and people are worried about their children hearing, and it's very deep-seated culturally, and it exists on so many levels. And since orgasm is sexual, we have orgasm being stigmatized as well.
It was clear to me that people were yearning for more information. And when I stumbled upon Francisco in Union Square, we were flabbergasted to hear what he had to say. Check it out.
Do you feel that girls don't deserve orgasms every time that they're having sexual intercourse?
Oh my gosh, people totally deserve orgasms.
Okay, good. I was so nervous. I was like, you can't be anti-orgasm.
No, I am so pro-orgasm.
Pro-orgasm.
Pro-orgasm. I am so pro-orgasm.
Pro-orgasm.
Pro-orgasm. It clearly takes two to tango, and it's only fair to have both the male and the female perspective on sex and communicating. Joining us now is dating coach and author Kevin Carr. Welcome to the Chelsea Krost Show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm so happy to have you. You know what? It's two fierce females here, so we needed to have the male's perspective.
Okay.
My first question to you is, do you think that men genuinely care to make sure that girls have orgasms every time that they have sex?
Absolutely, I think so. For the majority. I think that now, wanting them to have an orgasm and doing what it takes to allow them to have an orgasm is two different things, but I think that just men in general want to win. And so when you hear the, I made it at the end, you won. And so
you think that it equally feels just as great when a man knows that a woman's climaxing as for the woman? Like it gives them a sense of, I did this.
It just gives you, it's good for your ego.
And what do you think, Dr. Jill? Do you think that men have that, thought going into it, being that you speak to so many men and women on a daily basis?
Well, I would want to look at what the research says about it because, being a sexologist, I think opinions are great and in personal experiences there's a lot of value in that, but I would want to look to what are people saying in research studies that talk about motivations for self-pleasing, for partner satisfaction, how does orgasm play into that? Those are some questions, yeah.
Now, 50 Shades of Grey came out and it was a phenomenon. Do you think that 50 Shades of Grey put more pressure on men to perform?
In a way, I believe so. I think that women read this book. It's a great book, and you have these hot, steamy romances, and it's like, oh, Johnny, I can't believe he did this. And so you expect this experience now when you go into the bedroom. And if we don't do the necessary things leading up to that point, we won't have what we expect.
Valid. Some of my social media friends wanted to ask you both direct questions, and they sent us in some video messages. This message is for you, Jill. Let's take a look.
Is it okay to masturbate even though I have a girlfriend?
Is it okay to masturbate although he has a girlfriend? What do you think?
If you want to masturbate, absolutely. What I believe is that you're a sexual person first, and then you share it second. So just because you're in a relationship with somebody doesn't mean that automatically they own your sexuality. You are still your own sexual person. Yes, you share it with them on episodes, but ultimately you are your own sexual person. And if you want to express yourself through masturbation, absolutely.
And I would think exploring yourself also makes you better in the bedroom as well.
Absolutely.
Unless you're like, masturbating and you're thinking of somebody else at the same time. That's
well,
where.
Even then, but whatever. Your fantasies are your own as well. I mean, it's your own brain.
As long as it's not your best friend.
Maybe she's not a judge. I'm very.
All right, moving on to the next question. Here it is. Kevin, for you.
Kevin, what can I do to have my girlfriend feel more comfortable in bed?
I think the first thing you have to do is lose your pride. A lot of times that men, when we going into sex, we feel like, especially if we did it right once, we feel like this thing is going to work every time and for everybody. And so we have to learn it's okay to ask questions sometimes. Are you, did this work? What do you like?
Does this feel good?
Does this feel good? And really being observant to realizing sometimes we can just get up there and just, you just want to do what you want to do, like you were talking about. But just really being observant and really trying to figure out, am I pleasing you? And adjusting along the way.
Stay in tune to the female as well. All right, our next question is an Instagram picture, and this one is for both of you. What do you think? Is this outfit appropriate for a first date impression? Is it giving the wrong impression?
Well,
would you like to go first? I mean, it sounds like you had that visceral reaction that you wanted to
ladies
respond.
first.
I am a big proponent of freedom of expression. So if that's how she's comfortable, then that's how she should dress. The end.
Yeah.
Would you get the wrong impression?
But what's the right impression?
Well,
I think the impression is what she's trying to say.
I agree with the freedom of expression, but like you said, she has to know, what am I trying to say?
Right.
Because our presentation, whether we realize it or not, gives off a conversation. And so are you saying that, I'm just out to have fun, I'm showing skin, I'm showing this, because men are naturally visual, and so I can't help that I see this, and now, you might be nice, you might be having a great conversation, but I'm thinking about sex.
Yeah, well, I think it's a great outfit, but if it's a first date and you have that, am I giving the wrong impression? Then maybe save it for a night out with your girlfriends and just maybe wear a longer shirt because you're super cute, but you don't want to give the wrong impression.
What if she feels sexy and confident in that, and that's what helps her move into a space where she's going to be able to
connect
or put out there?
To each his own, absolutely. We have one more question. Okay. Kevin, this is for you.
Kevin, how is it even possible for guys to fake orgasms?
It's pretty easy.
This was the biggest question
Really?
for all of my friends and family, my entire crew. We just didn't understand it. How is it so easy?
It doesn't even take a good actor.
Okay, so explain the process.
Without getting too graphic, you just, the same thing a woman would do, whether you give it, you're being vocal, you're giving off moans, you're clutching yourself. Men, we do the same thing. It's not hard at all. Not at all.
And, you know,
I know what you're trying to get at, though.
Where am I getting?
How do you explain a lack of evidence of it?
Right.
So now I say this,
protection,
I'm assuming you're using protection. So if you're using protection, is just make it quick, and then you just, when you finish, you get up, make a run for it,
right.
so that the that the evidence can't be seen.
Phone sex as well, or any type of where you're not physically.
I don't think there's any need to fake orgasms. It's all about the communication, and if you're not feeling great within having the sexual experience, something isn't right. Well, thank you so much. And continuing our theme of communication, coming up next, find out how to decode those annoying text messages to see if it's a booty call or budding romance. With generations prior, it was all about reading body language. In today's world, we are decoding all of the meaning of a message through a screen, with no visual, voice inflection, or emotion, unless you're lucky enough to get a smiley face. Lisa Winning is the co-founder of HeTexted.com, a site where women can post their texts for men to see what they are really saying. Also on the site, women can get advice from a man's point of view. On the site, these men are called bros, and we have one of them here with us, Jared Freed. Hey guys!
How you doing?
What's going on?
Good. We're excited to be here.
Well, Lisa, what gave you the idea to start HeTexted.com?
So Carrie and I were really excited to start the site because we were thinking that all these questions our girlfriends are talking about all the time, and there needs to be a bigger outlet. So you get a text from a guy, you're not quite sure what it means, you can go to HeTexted and within minutes, literally, get hundreds of people voting he's into you, he's not into you, giving you real feedback and advice.
As soon as I found HeTexted.com and I told all my friends about it, they were freaking out and they were posting some of their text messages and couldn't believe how instant the advice was coming. And we have one of our bros here, Jared Freed. What gives you the credibility to be that perfect bro and give these women advice?
I think I've seen it from all the angles. Like I've been the friend to a girl, I've been the boyfriend, and I've been the jerk who stood you up on a date. So I've been all those things, and I think I can give all the perspectives and just give you an honest opinion and an answer kind of to what your friends can't give to you.
I think it's always good to get a male's opinion in a dating situation because I think sometimes girls enable other girls. Is that why you chose to have a panel of bros and not a panel of gals?
Absolutely, because if you go to your best girlfriends who love you, and you ask, like, what do you think? Do you think he's into me? No one is going to turn around and give you the cold, hard truth, right? They're always going to tell you, no, he's probably busy with work. Just give it a little longer. Maybe you should text him. You need some tough love sometimes, which is why you need unbiased opinion.
You do, which is why I asked some of our viewers to send in some text messages that we can decode here on the show with both of you. So we're about to play a game called Booty Call or Budding Romance. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Take out your panels. I'm about to read the first text message, and after I read the text message, hold up booty call or budding romance. All right, here's the first text. Can we keep what happened between us this weekend a secret? I thought you said that you were happy and wanted to keep it going. Don't you think it's more special if it's just between us? Booty call or budding romance?
It's a booty call
right
there.
This is absolutely
unanimous decision right off the gate.
Secret, that means he's got another chick somewhere. That means he's got, there's so much going on there that is so wrong. Like, a girl wants to be taken out. If you hook up with a guy, you want to show that to the world. If he doesn't want to show that to the world, then maybe you don't look like the type of girl that he's looking to show his friends, or maybe he has another girl.
Another girl right away? Like, you think immediately there's another girl?
I think yes, yes, of course. He's trying to keep her, keep her behind closed doors, and maybe he started a relationship with another girl and he wasn't sure about it. You don't know the situation. You just know that if he's not looking to show you off, there's got to be a problem.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Do you
Agreed.
another girl right away, or maybe he's just embarrassed of her? Oh, that's such a horrible situation.
Yeah, terrible situation. There's clearly something suspicious going on. She should put down the phone and back away.
All right.
Like, I've never kept a girl a secret from my friends because I was that much in love with her.
Yeah.
You know, so.
You don't do that. That makes sense. All right, here's our second question. So we sleep together and I don't hear from you. What am I supposed to think? Didn't know I needed to follow up. Been busy, but I had fun. Want to see each other this weekend? We'll follow up with you soon, kissy face. So there wasn't really a clear answer. Oh, and then she said when.
Yeah, listen.
It's a booty call right there.
Sorry, 2 out of 2 in a row, not good.
All right, so why immediately a booty call?
Jared.
I just think it's, if you're with somebody, if you sleep with somebody, or if you go on a date with somebody, there should be, a text should be a conversation just like you have one in person. There should be a little rat-tat-tat between the two people. And that kind of just says, oh, you know, he had sex, he got off, he disappeared, and now he got what he wanted. You know, and she, you know, she put him to his word. She said, "Where have you been?" And his answer is, "Oh, I didn't know I had to get back to you." What kind of person doesn't know you have to get back to them?
You know, you have a motto that says, girls love smiley faces. What does that mean?
Well, I think girls look a lot into texts. So I know that any girl looks very much into every letter of every text that a guy sends. Guys aren't that way as much. Like, I texted a girl, "Happy birthday."
And she read into it?
She got mad because there was no exclamation point. She told me that. She goes, "Do you know how a text like that makes me feel?" I was like, how do you think I feel? I just found out that you're insane. You know, like,
it's nice enough that you remembered it was her birthday.
Of course, I wrote her happy birthday on her birthday. And the thing is, I don't blame her, though, because if I get like a K, a single K,
I don't like the K.
I know she's not excited. We all look into texts, okay? But girls just look into them right away. And guys don't look into it. I think girls love smiley faces, so you should put a little effort into it. You know, you have to understand that girls do feel that way because along the lines of the same thing, a guy will feel the same way. He likes to see a KK. He likes to see a smiley face.
I think a smiley face also takes away that, you know, that very stark feeling of a text message where there is no inflection, there is no body language. So that smiley face gives you that emotion that you're supposed to see face to face, but really you're looking at a screen.
There is a text tone. And I think people have to remember that. So when, you know, maybe I was a little bit wrong in just the happy birthday with no exclamation point, but also guys have to realize that when you write back THX, you know, you're kind of giving off a tone where it's like, thanks.
Right.
You know, you have to understand that that's something that exists to girls.
So for guys watching, you know, beware of your text tone. Here's the next text message. What are you doing this weekend? Parents are in town. Do I get an invite? If you want one.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little hopeful about this one. Budding romance, booty call.
No.
All right, Lisa, why budding romance?
Because, I mean, okay, what's bad about this is that she's forced his hand, right?
Right.
He didn't ask her. It wasn't an invitation. She's like followed up and really pushed it. At the same time, he could have used any million of excuses to get out of it. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, we're kind of busy.
We have reservations
so I'm holding
for
out
4,
hope.
not 5.
Exactly.
There's such a thing as like the text dance and keeping the conversation going. Like, it's nice to get a text. It's like opening a present. You know, you get a little buzz in your pocket. You're like, who is this? What's they gonna say?
You get a little excited.
You get a little excited. You don't know what's coming. It's unwrapping a gift. And what this guy is doing is he knows that she's into it. If you want one, like, of course she wants one. That's why she's, you know, that's why she keeps texting him. And she's not going to be like, yeah, where are we going with your family? She's not going to do that, and he knows that. So he's more keeping the conversation going for the time that is in his best interest to get back.
I was thinking, you know, if he said parents are in town, he's letting her know. Was he interested to hear her feedback?
Right.
Because sometimes people put it out there to see what the person responds to, and then decide what they want. But again, am I a girl looking into this too much?
Here's the problem with his text. He said, parents in town. There's no, what are you doing? What's your plan? There was no interest from his end. You know, all of it was about him. Parents in town. Oh, you know, do you want an invite? You know, of course, you know, everything has been put in her court.
Which also means that the parents might not know about her yet as well.
True.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
All right, here's our last text message. Hey, my friends really liked you the other night. They think you're wifey material. And what do you think? They're so funny. He said wifey material. How do you feel about wifey material?
No.
Budding romance or booty call?
Yes, yes.
I hate to say budding romance. I hate that I have two choices. Like, I think that because it's so easy to write that over text. If he had to say you're wifey material to her face, there's a tone to the room. You know, he doesn't know when you text somebody, you can send that wifey text
out there.
and then put it down on the table. He's laying it out there, but I just don't think you should put so much into a text. I think the fact is, you know, HeTexted isn't here to take over dating. It isn't here to be in lieu of dating. It's to help people along the lines of, because we have to all realize that texting is a part of dating. So there is advice that's needed that your parents really can't give you because they never had to deal with it.
So what finally makes a guy tick from going to the, you know, player to then being in the committed relationship? Where's the fine line? When does it turn?
I think you have to make a guy work. You have to make the old rules still apply. You still need to go on a date. You still need to meet face to face. If you've spent 3 months texting with a guy and you haven't spoken to him on the phone or seen him in person, you're kind of talking to a ghost.
Lisa, give me your quick definition of today's modern romance.
I think you want respect. You want someone who's in touch with you and isn't waiting 3 to 4 days to text you back, right?
Simple.
Yeah.
Done. I love it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We decoded all these text messages and I really hope they help. We'll be right back. I think we found today that the quality of a relationship is directly related to the quality of the communication. I know my parents always say that their love has lasted over 30 years because they have always been able to talk to one another. Aren't they so cute? Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to all of my guests. Next week, we're going to focus on social good with some extraordinary millennials who are truly changing the world for the better. And for even more from today's show, go to my website where we have some web exclusives, and also check out the resumebear.com quick tip of the week. Let's make sure to always keep the conversation going. Tweet, Facebook, or Instagram me, and your messages could be a part of the show next week. Have a great night, everybody.